Arcadian Vanguard presents the Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Wednesday, March 26, 2025. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with NXT broadcast live last night on the CW from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. In the main event, Stephanie Vaquer retained the NXT Women's North American title against Fallon Henley. Vaquer was targeted by Fatal Influence after the match, but Jordynne Grace ran in to help her fend them off and then faced off with her to end the show.
Uh-oh. The Juggernaut. Well, we saw her make her presence felt earlier as well. And she's taken out Fatal Influence all by herself. Oh. I think Jordynne Grace has just entered beast mode.
What the?
Quite the sign of sportsmanship between... What was that, Victor?
In the opening match, Vaquer had also retained the NXT Women's Championship against Jada Parker with the help of a distraction from Grace. Fatal Influence attacked Vaquer after the match. Also on the show, Ethan Page defeated Andre Chase with Ricky Saints at ringside. Saints was attacked by the Culling after the match. Lexis King successfully defended the NXT Heritage Cup, defeating Javon Evans by countout thanks to an attack on Evans from Obafemi. In other results, Tatum Paxley and Gigi Dolan defeated Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend, and Tyreek Igwe and Tyson DuPont defeated Tank Ledger and Hank Walker with help from Wes Lee. In ratings news, Saturday and Sunday's preempted editions of AEW Collision experienced a bump in viewership with lead-ins from March Madness tournament games on TNT. Saturday's edition, which ran from 11:08 p.m. to 12:08 a.m. Eastern Time, was seen by 554,000 viewers with an 18 to 49-year-old demographic rating of .20. Sunday's edition, which ran from 11:15 p.m. to 12:15 a.m. Eastern Time, had an audience of 584,000 and an 18 to 49-year-old demographic rating of .22, the highest since July 29, 2023. In TNA wrestling news, several key executives have departed the company according to a company email that went out yesterday and was reported on by Mike Johnson. These include executive producer and head of creative Ariel Scherner, head of talent relations, Knockouts division producer and former wrestler Gail Kim, marketing and business development officer Rob Klingman, and Michael Shuchenko, vice president of digital operations for Anthem Sports. Four other individuals are also reportedly departing, including Karen Clevitt, Sebastian Destrange, Romy Glazier, and Raphael Morphy. Hunter Johnson will reportedly replace Scherner as head of creative, while Tommy Dreamer will head up talent relations. Said Anthem Sports Group President Carlos Silva in a statement to PW Insider, quote, "Today we announced a restructuring resulting in staffing changes at TNA Wrestling. These decisions are always difficult, but it became apparent that we needed to make adjustments to our business strategies. We are grateful for those who have worked here and thank them for their years of dedication to the company. Finally, we want our fans to know that we are committed to producing the absolute best product and highest quality content that we can, and we appreciate their continued support." End quote. In All Elite Wrestling news, Mina Shirakawa is expected to leave Japan Stardom Promotion once her contract comes up at the end of the month and officially debut full-time for AEW according to Tokyo Sports and Fightful Select. Shirakawa's recent appearances for AEW have been on a per-appearance basis. A press conference announcing the move is scheduled to take place later this week. In Lucha Libre news, Místico is out of action with an injury according to a statement from CMLL. The specifics of the injury were not made known, but it was indicated that it occurred over the weekend and will put Místico, often named as the biggest star on the current Lucha Libre scene, on the shelf for 2 weeks. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter has reported that the injury is believed to have occurred Friday night in Arena, Mexico during the Místico and Máscara Dorada against Hologram and Commander match. In news from outside the ring, the North Carolina Senate has introduced a bill that proposes to study the feasibility of a pro wrestling hall of fame in that state. Known as the Ric Flair Act, the bipartisan Senate Bill 404 would allocate $500,000 for its study and is sponsored by Senators Danny Britt, Ralph Hayes, and Jay Chaudhuri, who stated that the bill, quote, "celebrates professional wrestling's cultural and historic ties to North Carolina. Our shared cultural heritage in this state is college basketball, NASCAR, and professional wrestling. Professional wrestling still hasn't gotten the recognition it deserves," end quote. And in some unfortunate news, noted New Zealand boxing and wrestling historian Dave Cameron passed away on Monday in Auckland, New Zealand at the age of 91, as was reported by his family on social media. A longtime correspondent for The Ring magazine, Cameron began following boxing and wrestling in Australia and New Zealand on the radio as a child in the 1940s and published his first article in an English wrestling magazine in 1949 at the age of 16. Over his life, he amassed a carefully curated collection of books, magazines, photos, and other mementos of boxing and wrestling history and was known to correspond regularly and share information with other historians and fans the world over. He was the author of the now rare book on New Zealand wrestling, 70 Years at Ringside, as well as New Zealand Boxing Scrapbook, which showcased many of the items in his collection. Once again, Dave Cameron has passed away at the age of 91.
And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.